Hey guys, it's Neil from the Skullbusters, and before I get started today, I just want to give a big shout out to our newest superfan member, Matt Moore. If you want to join Matt Moore and becoming a member, just hit the button below and don't forget to subscribe. So getting back to today's video, and I'm going back in the missions, looking at the human comedy and the difficult one, which was Lake Maggiore, the 1 hour endurance race. So I know previously you had to put it on hard to make it easy. There was a weird kind of glitch thing. We've done a guide for this previously, but I thought I'd come back and revisit this to see if it's doable, since obviously the physics change that we had. And good news that it is doable, very doable. So I put mine on easy. I did try it on hard and I just came short by a good 20 seconds. But yeah, I put it on easy and then I found that it was very doable. So let's get down to showing you the two cars that I'd recommend. The first being the Mazda RX Vision Concept Stealth model. If you haven't got this car, it's not purchasable, but if you haven't got it, try the next one. So it's the RX Vision GT3 Concept, as you can see on the screen. That's how much it costs. I did test with other cars, but I found that these two cars, the two Mazdas, were better on the tyres and more efficient with fuel. So the race, I'd recommend starting with mediums, and we're going to be doing a 2 pit stop race. I will talk you through that and when to pit and how much fuel to take on board. In a second, I want to talk you through the first lap. Now, I normally race on traction control on 1, but for this race I found putting it on traction control 3 helped a lot. So that would be the first thing that I'd recommend. The second thing that I'd recommend is up the first corner is send it up the inside and overtake as many cars as you can, as quickly as you can. Basically lick the stamp and send it. Now there is a strategy to this race, and it is vital that you do it basically. So if you see at the minute on my race, in position number 6 is Rubilar. Basically what you need to do is take him out of this race. Basically is you're harming his race. If you don't do that, I don't think you'll win, because he just always manages to beat you. I mean, you might do it, but yeah, every time I done it, he always got me by like 2 seconds. He was ahead by 2 seconds at the end of the race. So as you'll see, in the first lap you overtake everybody, and then even if you get in front of him, he'll do you at the pits. So that's why I say you take him out of the race. It's not something that I'd always recommend. It's not good sportsmanship, but take him out of the race. I done it here, so he forced him into the gravel and then he got back on as quickly as I could. Basically, as you can see, he drops all the way back, and then you can just then get on with your race. So that's how I done it. It's up to you whether you want to do that or not. It does help massively. Once you do that, he can't catch you, basically. As long as you don't get any penalties, don't go off, anything like that, he shouldn't overtake you at all. So like I say, you overtake as many as you can, take him out as quickly as you can, enough not obviously to damage you and your race. That's why I just put him into the gravel. It sends him backwards and he's got a load of overtaking to do. By that time we're going to be at the front end of this race. Now the second thing that's important is the times and laps that you're doing. You're going to need to do it and consistently do it in like 159s, 158s, 157s. I did manage a few laps on 156. I don't think it was on this race, it was on another one where I got a fastest lap. You've just got to pump him in, basically. And if you do that and you're that consistent, you'll easily and comfortably win this race without a doubt. So pit wise, when do we need to stop and when's our first pit stop? So at the end of lap 10 going into lap 11, you need to then come in and pit straight away. So as you can see, we're at the end of lap 10, so when we cross and come out of the pits, we're into lap 11. Again, new tyres, fresh tyres, mediums, and then we're going to put in 11 laps of fuel. So you could do 11.2, probably 11.3. Never go anything more than that, because you're just going to drop back a little bit further than you should be. Obviously don't go under that as well. So make sure you do 11 laps of fuel. I always just give it 11 point something, never too much more. As you'll see now, 11.2. So then you come out and you join the race. Don't worry about all the cars in front of you, that's not a problem. Just overtake them, they're on older tyres, and on different strategy, so it should be fine. So then next time to come in is at the end of lap 21 going into lap 22. Again, important that you do them both at the same time, as like I say, end of lap 10 going into 11, end of lap 21 going into lap 22. And again, the fuel is important again, otherwise you're going to lose your lead. And what you want to do is put in 9 laps of fuel. I think I've done a little bit more here. I think I put 9.3 or 5 or something like that. I just wanted to make sure it got me home. Like I said before, if you're that consistent with your lap times and no penalties, you should win this race comfortably. So I want to show you my fastest lap. So you're going to be braking at probably around the 200 metre mark, into the corner, clipping over the apex, a little touch of the brake, and feathering the throttle as you go around that bend there. Try and hug it as much as you can, sweeping over to the right hand side, just a slight lift off, don't need to brake, then back on, feather the accelerator, brake early, into the corner, and then back on, and then straight down, keep to the left hand side, and you'll want to be looking for your braking point, which is coming off, so you're lifting off and then braking into this, come wide and then sweep up the right hand side, swinging out, and then coming to the right hand side here, lift off as soon as you see the curve now, and then touch the brake, back on the accelerator, flat out. If you need to give a slight lift, do so to get control of the car, pinch as much as you can, but try not to pinch too much, otherwise you will be penalised. Sweeping through the corners, coming over to the left hand side, and then what you want to do is look for the 100 metre mark, coming down, stick to the left hand side, which is now lift off, then brake at the 50, into there, sweep on the right hand side, and then back on the accelerator. Again, flat out here now. If you need to lift, do so. Try not to, because you can do all this section flat out. And then again, 100 metre mark, what you want to do is lift off and then touch the brake, into there, off the brake, feathering the accelerator all the time there, and then just touch the brake again, and then feather the accelerator again as much as you can. Hug the inside here, swing out to the right hand side, lift off now, and then brake, off the brake, and then feather the accelerator, and then back on as fast as you can. Try not to swing too much to the right hand side. And that's my fastest lap for this particular race. Like I say, I did get a 1:56 at some point, or got a couple of them, and like I say, hopefully this guide will help you achieve gold like it did for me. I'll show you at the end the times for the other Mazda, so you can see that it was doable for both. And as I said to you before, if you look at Rubilar there, he's finished 6th and he was 40 seconds off the pace. Now if you didn't take him out, he would have been right at the top there, and I reckon you would have been a good 2 to 4 seconds off him. So as I said to you before, the other Mazda is doable, is the proof of that. And this time he was only like 2.5 seconds off. So even though you took him out of the race, he really caught me back up. So that's why I say it's important that you do take him out, so that you are able to win the race. So okay guys, I hope this guide helps. If it did, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.